is. The instructions say put it in water, but I like almond milk. I don't eat enough nuts as it is, so. Okay, now I've got my little milk frother. Good afternoon. I'm still reporting on the coup. As we approach the start of the presidential primaries, China may be approaching open warfare. Why? Primarily because their economy is crashing from overbuilding and fiscal mismanagement. The theory is that either China's army revolts against China's current communist leadership, or the leadership successfully creates a war for them to expend their energies on. Secondly, China needs a war to reduce its population anyway. It's totally out of hand at 1.5 billion people. They can't feed them, and a hungry army always spells trouble for a nation. The only question is the timing. Biden is being ejected, as anyone can see from the news stances towards Jumpin' Joe this past week. So what benefits Newsom's chances most will rule the day. From here, it gets much more complicated. Some leftist media are even openly suggesting Trump's assassination. However, there is no doubt that Trump has the best intel and best protective services on the planet, so I rate that as unlikely to nearly impossible. If that's China's assessment also, then they need war sooner rather than later to maximize their chances before the sound of the trumpet is heard in the White House again. However, even if Biden bails right after Christmas, Newsom is going to need the longest possible runway to spin up his name recognition in order to sweep the primaries. So there are a lot of moving parts here, as even the best analysts admit. Gordon Chang and retired Air Force General Blaine Holt are the two best observers of this coming conflict on the scene, in my opinion. Greg Kelly had them on his Newsmax show on Friday night.
God knows what's going to happen, Greg. So, yeah, I think that we should start thinking about the conceivable, including what you referred to, which is war on the American homeland with all of these saboteurs, Iranian, Venezuelan, Chinese, Syrian.
No, let me just jump in. I'm right there with Gordon, but China is in deep, dire straits tonight. The CCP is looking at its end, and it does not plan to go quietly into the night. It will survive, at least in its own mind. And how does it do that? It redirects its people and its army outward, and it does that through war and conflict. Xi Jinping has destroyed his economy. He's gone Mao Zedong 2.0, but he's got these allegiances with North Korea, Russia, and Iran. And he's hell-bent on this BRICS plus scheme of maneuver where China somehow emerges from the smoke, the victor at the end of the day. They won't be, but it does mean that they're incredibly dangerous, and they're going to take actions to protect their investments in the Belt and Road Initiative, all of their seedy little deals here in the United States, even this show we saw in San Francisco where CEOs of ours prostituted themselves in front of Xi Jinping while he smashed our administration to show their weakness. This is why you get the conflict that you see. This is why we have a potential for World War III.
Wow. Hey, Gordon, I didn't know that about China and the economy, and he destroyed it, President Xi. Somehow that makes me feel better, though. I feel like they're less intimidating if they're weak. Number one, do you agree with that assessment of the generals? And what about my assessment?
Yeah, the Chinese economy is probably contracting. I mean, we see a deflation. We see exports declining. Manufacturers are desperate. So, yeah, the general is absolutely right about that. And I actually worry about a weaker China more than a strong one. You know, a strong one's going to be confident. Confident country is going to say, well, we can wait out while America declines. But, you know, Xi Jinping, he really has only a couple alternatives. He can let his fleet rust, because I don't think he can afford it anymore, or he can go to war. And I believe that he's going to do the things that we just don't want to see. So, yeah, I agree with the general. A weak China is an extremely dangerous China.
I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.